These are some Dinar Guru updates, starting off with Holly. For the RV to happen, the Dubai funds need to be released. They're all funded, just not released. There were some issues with accounts that needed to be fixed. That should be fixed, if not by now, then this week. Be prepared for any and everything to happen this week. Never, ever give up. Frank26 says there is no GCR. There's no such thing as a global currency reset. It's mathematically impossible. There is no GCR inside nor outside of Iraq. When they depeg from the American dollar, the IQD will then be international. When they unpeg from the American dollar, it all shows the IQD to be compliant with Article 8. All right, Mark Z via PDK. From my banking contacts, we've seen a lot of fluctuations on the screens, especially with the dong. It's floating all over the place. My last update I got it was about 92 cents. Whether they are unpegging it or whether we will be able to redeem it this week, I don't know. All right, from Bobby C. To my knowledge, only one aspect of Chapter 7 remains, and that's the debt to Kuwait, which has zero bearing on taking the IQD international. All the other Chapter 7s were moved to Chapter 6. Chapter 7 sanctioned nations do not have globally traded currency. There are no sanctions against them doing international business. Just some banks, especially in Europe, won't deal with them because Iraq fails to abide by the RTGS, real-time gross settlements. They could go global at 1460, and I'd be thrilled. All right, Bobby C. Continued, says, whichever float peg they determine is an afterthought for our endgame. They'd be stupid to depeg from the USD if they go international. The IQD will be in a basket pegged to the USD for protection. Years down the road, when they can manage it, they will float. USA buck remains world standard, yep, and that's their protection factor because USD is oil and oil is USD. All right, Frank26, you keep asking me, when's it going to happen? When's it going to happen? Do you honestly think Iraq is in a hurry with what Biden is doing? But the monetary reform itself has already been unveiled. It's kind of like when you jump out of an airplane, but you've got to pull the chute. Right now, Iraq is in the position the central bank has already jumped out of the airplane. They're pulling the chute. Soon, God willing, we will see the beautiful blossom of that parachute opening up. I don't know when. I have no idea when. I know deep in my heart, in my opinion, it's happening big time. All right, Mountain Goat said, so the recent news from Iraq is all good. They're telling us they have a $15 surplus per barrel of oil. Wow. Remember, they cannot now tell us they don't have the funds to move ahead with the project to delete the zeros. We can feel that something is just not right, and the CBI is planning something big with the currency in the near future. I say near future because we also know they cannot continue much longer in the monetary policies they are now implementing. All right, Holly said it has been a very slow roll out done internationally to capture any bad actors in the process. Remember, it's all about safety and security. You will want to be safe at all times going forward post-RV. We will get there as the process has begun weeks ago. Never, ever give up. Mark Z via PDK, out of Iraq, they released another article that was very similar to what they released in Kuwait just before they revalued, pegging the dinar of $14.85 or so to $100 USD, basically indicating they're not doing anything anytime soon. Kuwait had a similar article, and then they just did it, RV'd. All right, Walking Stick via Frank, they're talking about the language. There's no more English language on any of their currency. They're going to print more. No, they're just talking about the language they put on there. Will there be an article about this? I don't know, but the CBI are talking about the Kurdistan and Arabic language. Bobby C, if those HDs 250 to 50K note are kept in the market along with the supposed LDs of IQD, let's say 1 to 50, it would be mass confusion. My thinking is Iraq will redenominate before LDs are issued, before the new LDs are issued. Gives weight to Iraq wanting to go from trillions to billions. Mark Z via PDK from Banking Contacts. The dong continues on some banking screens to flirt with the $1 mark. It may not be what the final rate is, but it gives me a lot of warm fuzzies. All right, and lastly, Mountain Goat article quote, Parliamentary Finance talks about the continuation of the current exchange rate of the dollar for the next 4 years. Quote, setting up a schedule for 4 years to normalize the exchange rates of the dollar is illogical and contains many inaccuracies. They are not saying that the devalued rate of the dinar will remain for 4 years. The Finance Committee is opposing this move and says it will be subjected to annual evaluation.